Welcome to Full Throttle Off-Road. This should be a pretty exciting episode. You can tell by the title what we're doing today. We are going to E85 our cars. Evolution Powersports Stage 5 RWI is what it's called. The map tuner is what we're going to use to tune. These are the new Evolution Powersports. They call them the severe duty belts. I guess they're extremely robust and quite difficult to break. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because next weekend we actually have a test for these. So we are going to put these to the test and just kind of see how brutal you can be. We've got to replace the Wastegate Actuator to handle the higher boost, and then here are the fuel injectors to handle higher duty cycles, the blow off valve, and charge tubes, oversized charge tubes. These are extremely high quality. I was pretty impressed with them. So normal hose clamps like this, they're notorious for blowing off when you're doing high boost applications. They come with V-bands. I mean, you put a V-band on there and they don't usually come off ever. So I was really excited to see that they upped their game and quality when it comes to the clamps on these tubes here. So after we get all that stuff installed, we are actually going to do some tests, because we want to know just how fast the car is in comparison to what it was. We want to provide you with some actual visual evidence, you know, of what an investment like this could yield for you. So what we're going to do, we have the luxury of having two X3s here. Obviously, Keith has one as well. Currently, ours are tuned at the Evo 3R. Both of them are. So what we're going to do, we're going to install all of this stuff in my car. We're going to tune it to the E85 tune. And then we are going to flash Keith's car back to stock, a stock 2018 X3. And then we're going to race them. And then you'll get an idea of an E85 powered 5 WRI tune versus stock X3. Kind of get an idea of what that looks like. And then we are going to flash it back up to a 3R, race them again. Same idea. You're going to get to see how much faster the 5 RWI is over the 3R. And then we'll do some 0 to 60 times and probably, you know, just goof off a little bit, but...
No, we don't do that.
No, we don't goof off. Yeah, we're all business around here. But the idea behind this is to show you what you're going to get if you decided to go E85.
Well, I think we're more excited. We're just as excited as you guys to see what the difference is between stock and a 3R and an E85 tune. So yeah, this is going to be really, really cool.
Yeah. Hopefully by the end of this video, you will see how much of a gap an E85 tuned X3 puts on a stock car and what it puts on a Evo 3R. And it should be really kind of cool. One key factor though is if you're going to do E85 is fuel. So fuel from the pump, yes, I mean definitely test it because legally it can be any range of ethanol from like 50 all the way to 85. And if you are not at E85 or close, the car will not perform as you want. So we're overcoming that. We decided to bite the bullet and go with some E85 Ignite Racing fuel here. This isn't like super fancy. It's just guaranteed 85% ethanol every barrel, every gallon, so we know exactly what we're going to put in the car. So we want to make this job as easy as possible, so we just removed the bed right out of the my car here. So to get this bed out, it really wasn't super hard. There was just a couple bolts that ran through here. There was 2 primary bolts that ran through the top of the cage, and then there was like 6 bolts, 1 in each of these spots that held the bed down. Take those out and the bed was kind of snug. You had to pull this over to get it around this bar, but it came right out. Your fuel rail is right here. All 3 fuel injectors are right there. So we'll work through that. You know, we gotta drain the fuel tank, pop the fuel line off, pull the fuel rail out, drain any fuel that's left in it, and then there's clips right here that hold the injectors on. Pop the injectors off, put new injectors on, cool deal. And then the charge tubes for the intercooler that we're replacing, the big one here that goes to the throttle body, and then the other one is right behind it. So by taking the bed out, you've got super easy, clean access right to the entire workspace. Should make the job nice and easy. Let's get started.
All right.
All right, so the next step in our getting it done process was taking the intercooler out because we're gonna replace the charge tubes anyways. So there it is over there on the floor, bam. So the intercooler is not difficult to get out. We're in the service corridor here, the access spot. You've got your turbo, yep, and then there's a clamp that holds the hose on the turbo. Undo that, yank it off, and then, you know, maybe stuff a rag or something in the turbo outlet so dirt don't fall inside there. And then on this side,
that's gonna be super easy getting to this fuel rail. Look at that. Look how much room we got.
yeah.
These old peeps.
Then your throttle body's right here. So you take this clamp off to get the other side off, and then obviously your little rag to stop dirt from falling inside there. And then you got 4 bolts. There's 2 there, and then there's 2 on the other side, and you've got a power clamp. Undo that. The whole thing comes right out. So we'll get to that. We'll put the charge tubes and such on there when we get to it. So the next thing we're gonna do though is replace the injectors. So we need to drain the fuel out of the car. So I got a barrel pump when I went to pick up the fuel from Ignite. So we're gonna try and utilize this to get as much of the fuel out of the car as we can. There it goes. Oh, there's a lot of ways you can do this. I mean, we probably would have went and bought one of these from Lowe's anyway. They're like $20. But this makes life a lot easier.
I'm surprised how well it's working, really.
Why?
I don't know.
She's filling up. Do it.
It's just not right.
Did you take a shower?
I took a little shower, and gas shower. Yep.
It was a gas shower?
Yep. So we cycled the car, probably 5 or 6 cycles. There's probably a little bit still in the tank, but that's how much came out.
Yeah, so what we did was on the fuel rail here is the connector that connects the fuel line from the tank back to the fuel rail. It's just got a little pinch clamp here. There's really surprisingly nothing else holding it on. That's a little interesting that it's literally just a pinch clamp that keeps the fuel from spraying all over the motor. But we popped that off and then put this in that bucket that you saw Keith have, and then we just power cycled the key a couple times to get the fuel pump to pump the rest of the fuel out. Did about five cycles, and she bubbled and burped, and she's empty. So the next step in now is to take these 2 bolts out and then lift the fuel injectors and the fuel rail off the motor and make our replacements.
All right, so installing the injectors. How's that going?
Well, got 2 of the 3 done. We're gonna do the last one on camera so you can see. So to get the fuel injector out, it's really not that complicated. It has this little clip holding it on. So you just take a flathead screwdriver, you pop it off one side and hold it so it doesn't flop back down, and then pop the other side off. So don't lose those clips. And then you can see there's dirt all over mine. So I mean, if you got dirt on yours too, try not to get dirt down inside the fuel rail. So there's just an O-ring holding it on there. You just yank it out.
Nice.
That's the old injector. So
and then the key to putting the new one in is dielectric grease.
Yeah, so you want to put some dielectric grease on both sides. We're just doing it on the one side because it's the side we're working with right now. Lube up the O-ring. So then you just snap it right back in. Done.
Nice.
New injectors, boys. Yeah. There you go.
So Aaron's one of those guys when when it's raining out, his sprinklers turn on.
Hey, do you see that dead spot? I'm trying to overwater it till they get out of there. Come back here. We're focus, man.
Look at this.
Focus.
California doesn't have any water because we're using it right up. Anyway.
California. That's funny. So we reversed the process. The fuel rail's back in with the new injectors. We got her plugged up. Everything seems to be where it needs to be. So the next phase is to put some fuel back in the tank, cycle the key a few times to make sure fuel is not squirting out everywhere, because if you've got leaks, you really want to make sure you address those before you start the car, which means we get to crack open our new 85 drums. So we already started twisting this. I've never smelled the 85 before. It smells like corn. Like literally, that's like sweet corn. Smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get in there, smell it.
Smell it.
Yeah, how's that? Yeah.
Smell it.
It smells like sweet corn. Interesting.
I am going to record this at 120 frames per second.
Good work. So, we fuel cycled it. We didn't have any fuel issues. Everything seems to be nice and hunky-dory. So now we're going to install the Wastegate actuator. This one has a much heavier spring, which will help control the higher boost pressures that we're going to be pushing out. This has been done 1,000 times. YouTube's got these things all over the place, so we won't bore you with putting this on. It's literally just 2 screws, and then you've got to take the arm off the actuator, replace it. You use a Mighty Vac to set the wastegate pressure. We have a video on it if you want. Look for the how to install the 172 horsepower kit if you'd like to know how to set your wastegate pressure. Evolution Powersports themselves has a video on it. We're gonna go ahead and just do it so we can get done.
So what you're saying is it's pretty rare to see a video like that, someone installing one of those?
Yeah, they're hard to find, so we're not going to be the ones to show you how to do it. Figure it out.
Right. Corn fed.
Full throttle update. Yeah, the instructions for the blow-off valve are actually pretty sweet, so we're not going to do a whole lot of filming on it. Just follow them. The only real piece to note is you have a port on your intake plenum that you need to plug the blow-off valve into. So you'll take this little piece off. The kit comes with its own, which is right here. So you just fasten her up and then connect it to the blow-off valve. If you have a boost gauge, this is where you would connect your boost gauge. We don't have boost gauges at the moment, so it comes with a little plug that you can stick in there. So now we're fixing everything to the intercooler with these freaking sweet V-band clamps, and then we're gonna set it all back inside the car. We've reached the point in the day where we can connect the map tuner to the car.
Let me look at that thing.
All right,
Everyone wants to see.
Yep. So you need to go. You get a license file when you buy the deal, and then you create a user account, and then when you get the user account, you connect to it using a PC, which is over there. And then you can add your vehicles to it. So there's mine, there's Keith's. You can tune as many vehicles as you want, as far as I know. And then when you sync it, you download some programming. So I click programming, and then here's a list of all the tunes that we have. So we've got the stock file, which we're gonna put on Keith's in a minute, so we can compare E85 to stock. And there's the stage 5 RWI.
Just calculating.
Connecting to ECU. Please wait. This could take a few minutes, so maybe we'll just X this until it's done.
I don't know. You're kind of like a little kid right now, waiting for his newest toy or something.
Are you kidding me, dude? I drove 6.5 hours.
I was there in spirit.
Programming ECU. Yeah, buddy. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to find out what this is all about. So yes. my car is flashed with the new 5 RWI tune. All of the pieces and parts are together. I just took it for a rip. I'm not sure that my anus has totally loosened up yet. That thing, it's fun. So what we're gonna do,
tightest it's ever been.
Ever. We're gonna take Keith's car out. We have the Matt tuner with us. We're going to flash his car back to stock 2018. We're gonna race so you guys can get an idea of what a 5 RWI looks like versus a stock 2018 X3. And then we're gonna flash this car back to a 3R so you can get an idea of what a 5 RWI looks like against a 3R. So you should get a really good idea of what this tune looks like versus other Evo tunes to decide, you know, is this something that you want to spend your money on? It should give you a really good picture. And we will be taking a 0 to 60 time today as well. So you should leave this video with all kinds of useful information to help you decide whether or not this is an investment worth your time. But before we get out there, I can tell you it's worth your time. Oh my goodness.
Right. Yeah, we're super excited to see the difference. It should be a big one from the way it feels anyway.
It's insane. I mean, 90 miles an hour comes now. But enough talk. Let's get out there.
Let's get this done so we can throw this in my car.
Yeah. All right. Flashing Keith's car back to 2018 stock.
I don't want to go back to stock.
No?
No. This is going to be the worst challenge ever.
It's not really a challenge.
Or demonstration, whatever you want to call it.
It's going to be a good demo. People with 2018 stock X3s are going to know that
they're slow?
Yes.
All right. Wow, what a difference.
What a difference indeed. So I couldn't tell. You were behind me, obviously.
A little bit.
The cameras will tell the story. I like to talk about being fast and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No one knew that. And I used to have a 3R. I put like at least minimum 3 cars on you versus the 3R.
Yeah, it was a good solid 3, if not more, but at least 3.
So I'm at least minimum 3 cars faster than I used to be. So 3 cars, I mean, that's a long way. I mean,
that was a stretch.
That's a bit. And I was even, I mean, I don't even know, you were just a speck in my rearview mirror when we did the stock. So stock versus stage 5 is obviously, I mean, a moot point. But what I was really curious to see was stage 5 versus stage 3. I knew it was going to be faster. How much faster? I didn't know. But the cars were identical. I mean, like I said, if you follow the channel, you know the cars are pretty much identical. They both had the same tunes. he didn't have a windshield in this time, so
quarter windshield, that would get
all that out the window.
Windshield.
So we both had stage 3R Evo tunes. We both have the same KWI X36 clutching weights. We both have the same shocks, and so it's really interesting to see just how much faster the stage 5 was. I am truly blown away at the power that this thing makes, and that blow-off valve makes a pretty sweet sound. A little bit of yeah. So hopefully this was beneficial to you guys. It was certainly amazing for us in terms of complexity. We always talk about not, liking to turn the wrench too much, but we find ourselves doing it quite a bit more and more.
Yes.
This wasn't a difficult.
It wasn't bad.
No.
Nope.
I think taking the bed off really made it easier, but
I don't think you had to do that. I think we just did that to show everybody, to get a better camera view on what we were trying to do.
Right.
But I don't think you have to take that off.
No, and the instructions, we just followed them. So I don't know that it was a very complex install. Would I recommend it? Do you like really hard and violent acceleration? Because if you do, this is the way to go. Wow. Next weekend, we're testing that belt. So I know there's been a lot of talk, if you're on social media, about the unbreakable Evolution Powersports belt. We're gonna test that next weekend. So make sure you stick around for that. Hit that notification, hit that bell. I am really excited.
I can't tell. Nobody can tell.
Nobody can tell. Yeah.
You should see. I'm watching the screen when we're talking, and you should see your face.
I'm all smiles, dude.
That's awesome.
It's just so much power. It's so much power. I can't tell you.
Hey, we gotta get this thing on my car. So
hopefully this thing was beneficial for you, and you saw what you came to see. I am absolutely stoked at the way this thing runs. So until the next one, have a good one.
See ya.